Hello everyone, it's the month of February, and you know what that means? It's the month of Valentines. Last year I made a video showcasing my Valentine's Day film recommendations. If you want to check out that video on my channel, I have a link at the end of this video. No, today I was going to do something different. I really presented a lot of rom-coms and films you could watch on Valentine's Day last year, and I wanted to do something different. I have a confession to make. As you may know, I'm single. And I never really liked the idea of Valentine's Day. I don't know if it was because it was a day before my birthday, people give each other overstuffed teddy bears, or the fact that I just don't believe that if you have a special someone in life, you should only tell or show how much you love them on one day. If you have somebody, tell them you love them, show them you love them each and every day, not just on Valentine's Day. And I know people get busy, and it's a special day to remind each other how special their relationship is, how much they love each other. But I just never liked that holiday, because if you're with somebody, do that every day. I just thought Valentine's Day was overrated. So on top of that, romantic stuff and me being by myself, I really could give a shit. So this is going to be a different video. This is going to be my Valentine's Day film recommendations for those out there who are single or who just fucking hate Valentine's Day. That's right. This video is for each and every one of you out there. For any other miserable souls, so to speak, this is for you. So you can really watch any video. Anything you like is like perfect if you're single on Valentine's Day. It really is. But I'm going to present some twisted films and other type of action love stories you may enjoy being single or somebody who just finds this holiday overrated and just cannot wait to get it over with, you know? So if you have some chocolate to eat and just binge eat it and watch this, go ahead, do that. And yeah, here we go. Starting with the recommendations, I recommend Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is such a fantastic film with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. And if you've ever gone through a breakup or heartache, this is the film for you. This is such an amazing science fiction film, and I love the relationship these two have with each other. They actually had a relationship that fell apart. They went into this program that wiped their memories, and they really do that in a cool way in this film. But they pretty much realized that they've fallen in love before, so this is their second time meeting, and you don't know exactly what's the present and what's the past in the film, and I love that. If you want to see Jim Carrey in a more dramatic role, this is it. This is such a phenomenal film and one of the best films of the 21st century. It really is. It's very cathartic after going through a breakup, really. After that, a similar film is Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. This is a remake of the Spanish film Abre los Ojos, and pretty much it involves this man who can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. This is a Cameron Crowe film, and it's a very different film than Jerry Maguire. This film really takes a couple of viewings to really get, you know. It's one of those films that's kind of confusing the first time you see it, but I love it. It just gets better with each viewing, and I actually started out hating this film. And I found it at a good time, you know. If you've just recently gone through a breakup or you just feel depressed around Valentine's Day, this is a perfect movie. Again, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, it's very cathartic. And yeah, Vanilla Sky is a revolution of the mind. In addition to Vanilla Sky, I just mentioned its original film. I recommend the Spanish film from 1997 called Abre los Ojos. Same plot, but it's in Spain. Penelope Cruz is actually in the original, and I love it. The director of this did The Others with Nicole Kidman. It has much more of that rock grunge vibe. And I really like this in many ways more than Vanilla Sky, so if you enjoy Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Vanilla Sky, you want to see a foreign film, I highly recommend Abre los Ojos. Continuing the depressing, lonely streak is Secret Life of Walter Mitty, a wonderfully crafted drama directed by Ben Stiller. He's in this, he has a crush on Kristen Wiig, and pretty much involves this introvert who fantasizes, he daydreams, you know, and he's a photographer. He's an editor at a magazine that basically develops photos. And I love this movie. I love it because it shows you what happens when you don't take chances in life and what happens when you do take chances, when you're willing to put yourself out there, kind of get out of your comfort zone and basically accomplish your dreams. Such an endearing movie. I really love this. Ben Stiller shows us yet again that he's a capable director in the drama realm. You know, there are some dramatic moments in Reality Bites in The Cable Guy, but this one really goes full drama. And yeah, if you're alone this Valentine's Day, this is the movie for you. After that is 500 Days of Summer. Now this film is very, very well done with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel. I love this movie because it really shows you the difference of perspective and expectations, and more so false expectations. We get to see a breakup happen. We get to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt as this character believe in love and all these things and then become jaded throughout the film. But also we get to see that how deluded he was, you know? He had certain expectations of how a relationship was supposed to be or how he saw the relationship to be, when in reality it wasn't that. And it really is an endearing tale of real life love, really. It really is very close to real life. Some people say Summer is a villain, but Zooey Deschanel, I think, is just a regular person, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt having false expectations about things. But it was messed up that she asked to dance with him. I mean, oh my God. You can read it both ways, depending on your beliefs and where you've been in relationships and love, but this is a very, very well done drama and very close to reality. It's none of your Hallmark bullshit, let me just tell you that. After that is Her with Joaquin Phoenix. Oh my God, this movie is crazy. Pretty much deals with this man who writes like thank you cards and stuff like that. And I love it. I love it. He's a card writer. He's just recently divorced and he's trying to get over his divorce. He basically has a relationship with pretty much Siri or Alexa, really. Scarlett Johansson's voice. This is an awesome movie, but it's really an endearing tale about the loss of human connection, how people become very isolated from one another, and what is a relationship in a digital world. It's pretty much an elevated version of our reality now with technology, and I really love this. Even though he does look a bit like a pedophile on the cover, it's still a very cool movie, and yeah, I like that little video game character. Definitely, if you're by yourself, this is a crazy film to watch. After that is a fantastic coming-of-age tale, one of my favorite films of the decade, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Wonderful, kind of John Hughes-esque drama. Deals with Charlie being a wallflower, an introvert, and he finds these friends, and he deals with heartache, depression, suicidal thoughts, and a dark past. And I love it. It's really about finding friends, finding your first love, and then basically growing up. It's a great coming-of-age tale. And Logan Lerman gives a fantastic performance, as well as Ezra Miller and Emma Watson. This film is just fantastic. Another coming-of-age tale I recommend is Boyhood, directed by Richard Linklater. I love this. He filmed this over a 12-year span with the same cast, and I love seeing the same person grow. Whether or not you had the same childhood or background, you're still going to relate to a lot of things in this. It's really a timeless movie. It's something that everybody can kind of like tap in and think about their own boyhood, their own girlhood, their own childhood, and how they basically grew up into the world and dealt with like first loves and stuff like that, and trials and tribulations of the world. Definitely check out Boyhood. It's one of Richard Linklater's best films. After that, for a more upbeat film, is Before Sunset. This is a sequel to Before Sunrise, and I had the Before trilogy on my last video for the Valentine's Day films, but I recommend it for single people out there because it's really about, hey, I met this special person, it didn't work out. What would have happened if we met back then? What would have happened? And what happens when you get another chance to meet the love of your life, the one that got away? And it's such a wonderful movie. It's filmed in real time, and it's only like 88 minutes. But Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke give a fantastic, fantastic performance. And yeah, this is an awesome Richard Linklater film. If you're a fan of this series, definitely check this one out. This is a fantastic movie. Another one is Before Midnight. It's sequel. They're married, but also it deals with like, how do you like start hating each other and fall out of love? It doesn't really go fully into that direction, but it's great. It has one of the best hotel arguments ever on film. Literally, the couple argue for 40 minutes on film, and it feels like 10. It's amazing. They did a great job writing, directing. It's all with digital now, so like there's this whole sequence of 12 minutes of them just talking and driving. It's not a boring movie, believe it or not. It's a very interesting movie, very dialogue heavy, but Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke are great as Jesse and Celine, and it's great seeing them fall in love and find each other again in the first two films and then kind of start resenting each other in this. So if you're in the mood to see some couples go through a lot of drama and fucked up stuff with arguments, this is a film for you. Speaking of couples arguing, another film I recommend is Revolutionary Road. Pretty much imagine if Jack and Rose survived the Titanic together. This has Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio in fantastic roles as this married couple who just basically start hating each other and yell, and it gets pretty brutal. It's about them like basically basically conforming to suburban life, and I love it. I love this film. Such a well-done movie based on a novel. Kathy Bates even has an appearance, but it's so great seeing these two actors who are in love in Titanic play two totally different roles fighting each other. And if you want to see a marriage dissolve into its like worst case scenario, this is a film for you, really. Leo DiCaprio just has bad luck with women in films, what can I say? After that is Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio version. What can I say? Nothing's better than watching two lovers fall in love and then kill themselves at the end. Such a brilliant ending, and in this version, Juliet blows her brains out. I love it. After that is another sad Leonardo DiCaprio film, is the remake of The Great Gatsby. Oh my god, if Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey doesn't depress you enough, the story of this will. And if you feel jaded in the world, just don't believe in love, this is the film for you. Gatsby truly believed in Daisy's love, and what happened? He got used by the world, and a little bit of his own vices as well. I love this with Tobey Maguire, Carey Mulligan. Oh my god. This film is just awesome. This is a great film. It's very well done. There's a lot of stuff from the novel they do very well, and it's not entirely a period piece. It's kind of something of a hybrid, like a musical, but I really love it all the way up to the end. So if you want to watch a twisted tale in love and basically longing for the heart of someone who doesn't love you back, this is a film for you. After that, with more couples fighting, is War of the Roses with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. If you love them in Romancing the Stone and Jade of the Nile, this is a film for you. This is another marriage that just basically dissolves with argument and death. It also has Dan DeVito in it. If you have never seen War of the Roses, I highly recommend it, especially if you want to see some relationship turmoil. After that is Michael Douglas's crazy luck with women with Basic Instinct. Him and Sharon Stone. Oh my god, Paul Verhoeven directed this. So many iconic scenes, and they have to find this ice pick killer, and she may or may not be the killer. That's all I'm going to give away. Such a crazy suspense thriller of the early 90s, and a lot of sexy scenes between them too. Another Michael Douglas film with a crazy woman called Fatal Attraction with him and Glenn Close. Pretty much, it's like an affair, attraction. That's fatal. That's all you need to know. Fatal Attraction is a fatal attraction. Just imagine this woman who's into this man and is just batshit crazy. That's pretty much the movie. And in addition, for Michael Douglas, I also recommend A Perfect Murder with him and Gwyneth Paltrow. Such a twist on the other movies, and yeah, it's pretty much adaptation of Dial M for Murder. I like this movie. If you're in the mood for like a murder suspense thriller, Perfect Murder is a great film. Going back to downer films, Breaking Up is a very underrated movie with Russell Crowe and Selma Hayek. It's pretty much about this couple who find love, and it's the process of them breaking up. It's really about their relationship dissolving into a breakup. And you don't really get to see that in films, but what's so sad is you get to see them when they're most happy, and you think they're going to be together forever. No, things happen, and it's a painful process that many of us experience in life. Such a great film, very underrated. If you're in the mood for a drug film, I recommend Candy. Such a wonderful film with Heath Ledger and Abby Cornish, and it pretty much deals with this couple who are heroin addicts and their self-destruction, not only in the relationship, but their addiction to the drug of heroin. Such a fantastic Aussie film. Also has Jeffrey Rush in it, and yeah, Candy is not for the faint of heart. It's a brutal, depressing film with one of the most tragic endings, and I love Heath Ledger's performance at that end. If you've never seen Candy and you're a Heath Ledger fan, do yourself a favor and check it out. Another film with a downer end is La La Land. I have to make a confession. I actually haven't seen La La Land all the way through. I saw bits and pieces and I saw the end. I wanted to see this movie. It was just boring to me. I don't know. And I usually love musicals and stuff. I just could never make it through. But it's beautiful cinematography. The music is very well done. Very old school type of Hollywood film. But I love that ending. It tricks you. It makes you think the couple's going to end up together. No. They both chase their dreams instead of live with one another. They don't go with love. They decide to go with their careers. And both of them have a happy ending, so to speak. They both get what they want. That happens in life. And I love that. People hated this ending. I'm like, I know it psyched you out, but you know what? They both got what they want and they're happy. Like, hell. I still think there is a way they could have done both, but sometimes there's not in life. I don't know. Some people have to chase their career over love. After that is another Ryan Gosling film in the La La Land called Drive. I love Drive. Real human being and a real hero. Has Albert Brooks, Bryan Cranston, Carey Mulligan's in this again. Yeah, a lot of men get in trouble for her. I love Drive. Drive is one of the best films ever made, one of the best films of the decade. If you haven't seen Drive, go ahead, check it out. It has romance, it has action, a lot of car chases, awesome cinematography, and score. Very 80s-esque. I love Drive. After that, with Ryan Gosling, if you're in the mood for a funny movie about like heartbreak and love, I would recommend Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell, Emma Stone, and Ryan Gosling with Julianne Moore. I love this. It pretty much deals with Steve Carell and Julianne Moore as a married couple. She cheats on him with Kevin Bacon, and it's him basically going out there and presenting himself to people. He's single again. He's been married for so long. His high school sweetheart cheated on him. So he ends up getting the help of like this male gigolo guy played by Ryan Gosling. We get to see different characters at different ages and their experiences with Crazy Stupid Love. Such a great comedy and very underrated. I recommend it if you haven't seen it. After that is another movie that's kind of more considered a rom-com, but I'm going to recommend it for single people out there because it's really about damaged people who are batshit crazy. Silver Linings Playbook is one of my favorite movies of the decade. I love Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence's chemistry here. Robert De Niro, Chris Tucker's funny. This movie is a fantastic movie done by David O. Russell. Yeah, just two people who are crazy yet so compatible with one another. Just a feel-good movie, and especially with the Super Bowl and football around this season, go ahead and check out Silver Linings Playbook. And if you don't, then you messed up the Eagles, Juju! If you're in the mood for a depressing film, I recommend Castaway with Tom Hanks. Him and Helen Hunt are together. He's on a plane, he's a FedEx worker, and the plane crashes, and he's trapped on an island for numerous years. And such a depressing movie. It's a testament to Tom Hanks' acting. It's just him in the movie and a volleyball named Wilson. An awesome Robert Zemeckis film. I think he should have been nominated an Oscar for this, or at least won one. And yeah, it has a tragic end because even though he was trapped on an island, everybody else moved on with their lives, and he's at a crossroads, literally. Such an amazing movie. If you're a fan of Forrest Gump or any Robert Zemeckis film and Tom Hanks, check out Castaway. After that is Casablanca. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Sometimes you have to give up the things you want the most in order to do what's right. Yes, I know that's from Spider-Man 2, but, you know, these two people's problems don't amount to a hill of beans in the world. This is about a man giving up the woman he loves in order to do what's right. He's a skeptic. He's been jaded, but it's him having an arc. It's him doing the right thing. He says at the beginning, I stick my neck out for no one. He does here. I love this with Ingrid Bergman, Humphrey Bogart. This is such a classic film. One of the best films ever made, and for a 40s film, it's phenomenal. If you've never seen Casablanca, go ahead and see it if you're a fan of films. But also, this is good for single people because, you know, Rick in this movie is pretty jaded. You know, he says that line where he's like, out of all the gin joints in all the world and all the places, she has to walk into mine. And he sees the woman he once loved, he had a fling with, and she left when Nazis took over France. So you find out she's married to another man. And do they rekindle this love affair, or do they do the right thing? And that's such a great tale. After that, I recommend The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman. Yes, this has Mrs. Robinson, but I love it. It's pretty much a graduate. He graduates college, and he's kind of going through like this crisis, this existential crisis. He's trying to figure out his place in the world. Anyways, one of his parents' friends, kind of neighbor, seduces him, and then he ends up falling in love with the woman's daughter. And this has the best, like, objection to a wedding ever. Wayne's World 2 spoofed it, but I love it because usually in romance movies, they're like, I object to you marrying this person, and everybody's kind of fine. This one, they're like, get the hell out of here, and they're actually, like, mad at him. I freaking love this movie. This is an American movie classic, and Dustin Hoffman gives a phenomenal performance. Check out The Graduate. After that is Shrek Forever After. The reason why I recommend this, it's a kid's film, it's funny, but also it's like a person who doesn't appreciate what they have, and they end up making a deal to change time, and he doesn't end up with the love of his life, and he has to make things right. And in a way, he falls in love with her all over again. Shrek and Fiona. Yeah, I love What If's tales, but I also love, like, It's a Wonderful Life. So if you feel depressed, if you feel down, this is a good film to really put things in perspective. Going darker again, I recommend My Bloody Valentine, both versions, but the remake has Jensen Ackles and it's in 3D. So if you're in the mood for like a whole bunch of people getting killed and it doing with Valentines, go ahead and see this. It's just as good as a Valentine's Day Massacre. After that, for the misunderstood and monstrous, so to speak, I recommend Phantom of the Opera. This is a fantastic film. Gerard Butler, Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson. Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber's soundtrack. For the misunderstood, heartbroken, this is the film for you. Out there, alone, this is a film for you. After that, if you're in the mood for more dark musicals, I recommend Sweeney Todd and the Demon Barber at Fleet Street. Johnny Depp's in it, Helena Bonham Carter, Alan Rickman, Oh my god, this movie is awesome. The music in this, Johnny Depp is amazing. Tim Burton directing this, it being rated R. Going back on monsters, Love Never Dies. I recommend Bram Stoker's Dracula. Probably the most romanticized version of Dracula, yet very gory. Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder are great. Keanu Reeves, Anthony Hopkins. Oh my god, I love Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is just a fantastic tale. He lost the love of his life, and he basically renounces God and becomes a blood-sucking vampire, and then finds a reincarnation, but doesn't want to curse her with the gift he has, so to speak, with vampirism. Oh my god. This is such a great tale if you're in the mood for like monsters who just need a little love. After that, continuing with Winona Ryder, I recommend Destination Wedding. Sure, there's not many other characters in this, but if you're a cynical person who just feels jaded in love, it's a hopeless romantic but just feels so cynical in the world, see this. This is a film for the heartbroken. Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder's chemistry is great in this, and I just love them just talking shit about the whole idea of romance and his brother's wedding. Like, this is just fantastic. So for any jaded lovers out there, this is a film for you. Sit back, get some popcorn, and just enjoy Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves just shit-talking other people, like the whole movie. That's pretty much what it is. Also, they both hate each other when they meet. So I love that. Two people hating each other and then learning how to love each other. After that, I recommend Blue Jay with Sarah Paulson. This film is great, black and white, and it's pretty much about two people who used to date, reconnecting over one night. And it's all in real time, and the film is all improvised. This is the closest I've seen a film come to the Before trilogy. Such a fantastic film with many heartbreaking revelations. And yeah. After that, for the heartbroken and cheated, I recommend Unfaithful with Diane Lane and Richard Gere. They're both a married couple, but Diane Lane ends up having an affair. And what can I say? That happens in life. People cheat on you. But you know what's great? Seeing Richard Gere confront his wife's lover, and then seeing the snow globe he gave to his wife at the guy's place, and then just bashing his fucking head open with it. Yeah. See it for Richard Gere bashing his wife's lover's head with a snow globe. That's what you need to see it for. After that, for crazy, kind of twisted love stories, I recommend Cruel Intentions. Yeah, it's kind of a teenage drama, but it's so twisted in how the characters relate to each other and the twisted things they do. If you want to see a really fucked up film, Cruel Intentions, the original one with Ryan Phillippe, Selma Blair, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Reese Witherspoon, is a film for you. Definitely some of the best of their films later. Also, going on Stalkers and Reese Witherspoon, I recommend Fear with Mark Wahlberg. He scares the hell out of you. This is Marky Mark here. I can't listen to All I Want by Toad the Red Sprocket thanks to this damn movie. But I love it. William Peterson's her dad, and it's a good relationship until he starts becoming stalker serial killer on her ass. So what happens? A father must protect his daughter and basically fend off his daughter's boyfriend. That's pretty much the movie. After that, I recommend an underrated film called Friends with Money, starring Jennifer Aniston. And this is a great movie for single people out there. You may see, like, out in the world, there's people who have kids, they're married, everything's going well, and you're like, what the hell's going on with me in life, you know? Like, what's my problem? Maybe I need to get off my ass and do more, but still, I'm doing the best I can, and why am I not having the life? Well, first of all, you need to stop comparing your life to others, but this is a great film because Jennifer Aniston, just recently unemployed, and her friends have money, or they think they have money. It's a concept of like wealth and class, as well as kind of like a pissing contest of life, how people compare their lives to others and like to be in competition with their friends and other people. And really kind of shows you who's rich and who's not. Like, the real wealthy people don't go out and say they're wealthy. And there's a very good morality lesson in this film. I love this film, a very underrated Jennifer Aniston film. After that, going more comedic, I recommend The Other Woman. Ladies, you're gonna love this film. Kate Upton, Leslie Mann, and Cameron Diaz. What can I say? There's a lot of funny moments in this, but pretty much it involves Leslie Mann finding out her husband is cheating on her with Cameron Diaz. But then they both find out that the husband's cheating with other women. So it's like two of the mistresses and the wife, played by Leslie Mann, finding the husband's other mistresses and basically trying to expose what he's doing. He's basically not a good guy. He's a jerk. He's an asshole. And they just mess with him the whole movie. Such a great comedy. And it's a good pick-me-up. I just love The Other Woman. It's one of the best comedies of recent memory. Continuing with Cameron Diaz, I recommend There's Something About Mary. Such a funny movie with Cameron Diaz, Ben Stiller, Matt Dillon. And yeah, what can I say? It's pretty much a movie about stalking. Yeah, like now that I'm older, I'm like, this is a stalker's movie. This is a guy's movie. But It's funny. Men and women can find enjoyment out of Something About Mary. Such a classic film, great acting by Ben Stiller, and many funny out there moments. It was a bit edgy for the time, but now it's a little tame after some of the raunchy comedies we've had over the past decade. But what can I say? Something About Mary is a classic film, and it's just a funny film. A really good pick-me-up for the Valentine's season. After that, I recommend this drama called Adult World with Emma Roberts, Evan Peters, and John Cusack. Pretty much involves this recent college grad trying to go out into the real world as a writer, the next great poet. And what happens? Well, reality bites, reality hits hard, and she goes nowhere. So she ends up getting kicked out of her parents' house, having to make money, and she goes and works at this adult sex shop where she meets Evan Peters. Cloris Leachman's the owner, and that's why it's Adult World. It's the Adult World shop. Anyway, she ends up meeting one of her favorite writers, played by John Cusack, at this bookstore, and basically wants to be his pupil, wants to learn from him. So it's basically her escapades, dealing with the real world, falling in love, and then also trying to be a writer as good as her role model, John Cusack, who's nothing like she thought he was. I love this. Such a fantastic movie all around. And yeah, it really goes to show you that failure can lead to greatness. Speaking of Emma Roberts, going to Julia Roberts, I recommend My Best Friend's Wedding. What can I say? You have a best friend, you do everything with them, and what happens? You love them, but you don't tell them you love them. And you don't feel that until they move on and find someone else, and they're about to be married to that person. So what happens? That's pretty much the movie with Dermot Mulroney and Cameron Diaz. Such a classic Julia Roberts film. Anyways, going with Julia Roberts, I also recommend her and Richard Gere's reunion with Runaway Bride. No, it's not like Pretty Woman, but it pretty much deals with Julia Roberts being a runaway bride. She has all these weddings and always bails on them. Such a classic comedy. Richard Gere is a journalist who covers the story of her running away from weddings. What can I say? I like it. It's the same director of Pretty Woman. You have two actors from Pretty Woman. What more do you want? Going back to John Cusack from Adult World, I recommend High Fidelity. It's him and Jack Black working at a music shop and his relationship with women. I love this movie. Such a great comedy drama of the late 90s. Oh my God, one of the best John Cusack films. After that, I recommend another John Cusack film called Grosse Pointe Blank with Minnie Driver and Dan Aykroyd. Pretty much, there's a high school reunion, and John Cusack finds somebody he used to have a connection with, falls in love, and there's a catch. He's a hitman, and people are after him. He's after people. Such a great movie. If you're in the mood for something that's romantic, has an 80s feel, but yet has action, see Grosse Pointe Blank. It's an underrated movie, a hidden gem from John Cusack. After that, if you want to see more women get even, I recommend the original film that started it all, The First Wives Club. Diane Keaton, Bette Midler, and Goldie Hawn. Yeah, they're pretty much the first wives of their divorced husbands, and they decide to get back. I love this movie. It's such a fantastic, underrated film. This film has kind of gone into obscurity over recent memory, but I love First Wives Club. Ever since I saw it on VHS, we rented it at Hastings, and I saw it, and I'm like, this is a funny movie. You know, I used to watch all these rom-coms with my mom, but that's one anybody can enjoy. You don't have to be in a relationship to enjoy that film. Speaking of people getting back and basically improving themselves, I recommend Legally Blonde. People underestimate her. They don't think she's worthy. Her ex-boyfriend doesn't think she's worthy. She becomes a lawyer and shows them all. And that's what you need to do. Sometimes when love doesn't work out, when you feel rock bottom, nobody's there for you, you know what you need to do? Nut up and shut up and go to work, improve yourself, love yourself, and that's what you need to do. Because really, it's going to be you and you alone in the end. And if you love yourself, then other people will love you. That sounds cliche, I know, but Legally Blonde is just like a feel-good movie, and yeah, it's a perfect day. Next, if you want to watch action movies with relationship issues, I recommend True Lies, directed by James Cameron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. Dana, grab my hand, do it now! Do it, Dana! Sorry. Has Tom Arnold in it, Bill Paxton. So many funny freaking moments in this. It's a satire of the spy genre. A little bit more serious now, but what can I say? Nothing's better than seeing Arnold get his wife back, fight terrorists, and launch a guy with a missile saying, "You're fired." I love this movie. True Lies is an awesome 90s gem and one of the best Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Cameron films. Going to spy revenge movies now, I recommend The Bourne Supremacy. Sure, it's not a love story, but he loses a woman he loves at the beginning and he's on a revenge mission. He told him, "I swear if anybody comes near me, I will bring this fight to your doorstep." And that's what Jason Bourne does. He brings the fight to the CIA's doorstep. I love The Bourne Supremacy. Perfect action movie. Two other spy revenge movies, relationship movies I recommend, tragic movies. On Her Majesty's Secret Service 007, George Lazenby's only 007 film. It's a love story with a tragic ending. Casino Royale, James Bond's first mission with Daniel Craig. Love story with Vesper Lynd. Him and Evergreen's chemistry is perfect. Great poker film, great romance with a tragic end that ultimately shapes him into the man he's meant to be. Bond. James Bond. After that, for my last two films I recommend, there's Clerks by Kevin Smith. Sure, they're in a convenience store, but the guy deals with everyday problems, and I love this movie. It's a great comedy with many dramatic moments. Really relevant moments. Kind of like points of wisdom in the world, you know? Great Kevin Smith speech as Silent Bob. Most women don't make you lasagna, just most of them cheat on you, you know? And it's really about like realizing people who are there for you. And also kind of just falling into the shortcomings of life. Yeah, Clerks is pretty much like Empire Strikes Back. It's a downer, you know? But it's funny. It's basically real life. It's a slice of life. I love Clerks. Another underrated Kevin Smith film is Chasing Amy. Ben Affleck falls in love with a lesbian. Yeah. And it gets complicated. It shows how relationships can be when you don't trust the other person, when you judge them based on their past, but also it shows you how a relationship can break a friendship with other people. And basically it shows you what's never meant to be, or when people just make a mistake that it's not needed, you know? It shows them what happens when they basically don't see what's in front of them. They spend their whole life chasing Amy. Anyway, those are my recommendations for those out there who are single or who just fucking hate Valentine's Day. If you're like me, those are the films I recommend. Now, really, you can just watch whatever you want to watch. If you're like that, you just watch whatever you want to watch. But these are just some of the films I wanted to recommend to you. Again, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. If you have any more Valentine's Day films for single people or people who hate the holiday you want to recommend to me, go ahead and comment in the comment below. I'd love to hear your recommendations. Anyway, here's some more videos you can enjoy on my channel. Here's my Valentine's Day film recommendations from last year. Like I said, the more traditional rom-coms are going to be there. So yeah, here's some more videos you can enjoy on my channel. Hope everybody makes it through Valentine's Day. I may go listen to Close to You by Maxi Priest, I Swear by All For One, Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely by Backstreet. No, I'm probably going to listen to like Bee Gees and some stuff like that. No, but probably listen to some Metallica. Yeah. Anyway, enjoy guys and gals, and yeah, I'll see you next time.